I have no shame. Let's start with that.
We did.
I have no shame. Now let's dance.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Let's Do a Podcast. My name is Ryan.
My name is Anthony, Dance Master 3000.
That's what we're working with today. Of course, music is by our buddy Dark Rezard. So, of course, I'm ready to crack into this. Like I'm wasting zero time here.
I'm super. Yeah, let's just get this party started.
So, talk to us about the beer since you brought the beer today.
So I forgot to pull up a page for this, but we've if you've listened to this podcast, particularly right about when the pandemic started, this is one of the first new beers we tried as things started from another collab again from Celestial and Turning Point. Love it when those guys work together. You know it, you love it, you may remember it. It's virtually inseparable. It's a virtual collaboration between Turning Point and Celestial. So you can see the can right there. The light kind of washes out a little bit, but
yeah. So I mean, it's like two of our favorite breweries, or at least I know for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely both of ours. And yeah, we had the first batch that they did, and so as soon as they came out with this, we were like, well, we got to have it back for the show.
Oh yeah.
And I looked it up on Untapped, and we gave this such a high rating last time. So I'm really hoping the standard stays with it. But I guess we'll see. But just, I mean, as soon as I cracked it open, just smelling it smells amazing. It smells so good.
Yeah, I can tell you what that I went to Celestial last weekend, and they're still on a tear. Like I don't want to jinx it and knock on wood here, but I have not had anything bad from Celestial. But it is a triple New England hazy IPA, coming in at 10% ABV. So
starting off good today.
Yeah, so starting off strong here. But yeah, it's got that vibe there. Trying to pull up the profile information.
Yeah, I was trying to look.
I can look it up on the app. Untapped.
Let's see, point triple IPA with Citra, Strata, Sabro, has aroma of passion fruit, pineapple, and is jam packed with flavors of coconut, mango, taffy, melon. Thank you, and a soft and fluffy mouthfeel, and is the absolute brightest 10% glass of juice.
It's like getting a mouthful of feathers. Which would be weird.
That sounds terrible, honestly.
Right. But I'm going to go ahead and get my party started over here. So just for the listening pleasure. So you get yourself some virtually inseparable. They had plenty in the case when I went there last weekend. So
it was a spewer. So of course, while we pour this, I gotta wait. I did a bad pour, so I'm like slowly having to wait for the head on this guy.
For shame.
I know, I'm terrible. But so while we wait for that, I want to go ahead and talk about a few of the beer events. Then we'll go back, talk about this beer as we sip on it. And then we'll talk about the movie, I guess.
Oh, there's a movie?
Yeah. Apparently we do movies around here. So July, so yesterday was the 4th.
Yeah, I hope everybody had a great 4th. Hope everybody still has all their fingers. It's always a roll of the dice on that one.
Definitely hope.
Get some of them bootleg fireworks, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you all had a good time. I since this is pre-recorded, I have no idea what we did yesterday. Actually, I might have an idea. I don't know. Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah, future us, if you're listening, I hope you had a great time.
Yeah.
I don't have a clue what happened, but
let's see.
I hope you have all your fingers.
That's right. We do have a Roar and Sons Backyard Pitmaster barbecue class with Brisket U. So that's over at Roar and Sons.
When's that? Is that today?
The 9th.
The 9th.
Yeah, July 9th. And then also July 9th, which I think most people should go to this instead, just saying, is a Sippin' on Summer block party at Turning Point.
Oh, they've if you go on their social media, they've got some pretty funny videos kind of promoting this. So yeah, I always recommend events at Turning Point. Turning Point is one of my favorites. It's been a local favorite for me, and it looks like they're going to have if you've been to any of their block party things or like any of their anniversary celebrations, they always like wild out. So yeah, highly
Yeah.
recommend it.
I mean, and yeah, we're all fans of Turning Point here in both of our separate houses, but we were just there this week. Did trivia, which was fun.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but it's fun. Let's see what else we got going on. Barbecue Beats and Brews over at Beer Alley in Denton.
Beats like BEETS or BEATS.
BEATS. I know. Let's see.
Is that Brews Beats Battlestar Galactica?
Exactly. Let's see. I already said that one. Wild 1 year anniversary party over at Chambers Creek Brewing on the 9th as well.
Ooh, I don't recall hearing of those guys.
Yeah, I don't recognize that at all. Interesting. Let's see. On the 8th, we got the 2nd annual local only Peach Fest at Edgewise Brewing.
Is that only for locals?
I guess so. Let's put it on here and say it's only for locals, I guess. But Edgewise 8 Brewing. I don't know where that is. A 2nd annual locals only Peach Fest. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, if you know where Edgewise 8 is and you're
a local,
then you can go do this.
That's so weird. I don't want to talk. Oh, wait. There's 2 of these. Oh. So the Backyard Pitmaster Barbecue class. I thought I was on here twice. But they're
2 different places.
2 different places. So they have one at Roaring Sons and one at Manhattan Project on the 10th. So
if you want to do that, but you want to go to the Turning Point thing, go to the Turning Point thing and then go to Manhattan Project
the next day. Yeah.
For the Pitmaster class.
And that's all we're gonna mention since I don't want to give away everything happening next month. Actually, no, we can split in half. We'll do a few more.
Yeah.
Beer Bumble, downtown Garland. I don't know what that is, but it seems interesting.
Bumble is what I do after I've ever had too much beer.
That's right.
Yeah.
$25 tickets includes collectible. Oh my god.
Collectible testicle.
Collectible mini mug, 12 beer stops, live music, and a chance to win downtown dollars at Garland. I guess I don't know what downtown dollars are.
It's like a mini mug. Is that like one of those things you get on a necklace for like St. Patrick's Day, and then you get 12 pours that are like a shot glass? Basically,
I would assume so.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no pictures of it.
It's like, oh, look at the mini mug.
Grizzle Fest over at Martin House.
Who knows what that'll be?
Did
you see the beer they came out with recently, just prior to for summer, just prior to the 4th of July?
Maybe
they came out with a barbecue beer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw as soon as I saw that on my social media feed, I was like, yeah. My God, they've done it again.
They're not stopping.
It's like you monsters, you've screwed it all up.
All right. Have you had a sip of this? So that's it for the beer news for this episode, which is beerandbigd.com. That's where we get all of our information. Of course, I'll always put those in the show notes. So have you had a sip yet?
I have.
What do you think?
It's good. I don't get that pillowy mouthfeel. I don't feel like I've eaten a bunch of feathers, but I do get the melon.
We do like ourselves good melon around here.
It's not as smooth as I remember it being.
I thought that too.
It's got a little bit of that more of the edge. It says there's no IBUs for this. I think maybe the stats are incomplete. Because I can see it's got almost like a boozy vibe to it. I feel like.
Yeah,
I'm curious. They said they made it again. I'm curious if these are just cans left over from the first time they made it, and these are just 2 years old.
It's definitely not what I remembered. But
this might be 2-year-old beer. Who knows?
I don't think they would do that.
I don't think so either, but I don't know.
Oh geez. All right. Let's move on to the movie. And of course, if we remember, we'll rate this at the end of the episode. Of course, that's if we remember. We're so bad at remembering it. I think we've only done it like 3 times maybe this year that we've actually rated a beer.
Yeah, we've not been too hot on the format here.
We've been doing bad. It's been very free flowing, but I feel like it's been fun though.
Yeah,
so.
There's 2 things that should be free flowing in this podcast. It's the beer and the fun.
Word. I back that up 1,000%. So The movie Tank Girl, 1995 movie.
95.
Um,
Man,
wow.
can I remember what was happening in 95? I was X teen years old, and I vaguely remember this movie coming out. Vaguely. I would not have been allowed to watch this though.
No.
Yeah.
um, this is uh, a very odd movie.
This is definitely an artifact of its time. I'll tell you that much. The filmmaking style in it. Don't want to get too much into it before we get into the description of what the movie is, but it's very 1990s.
I do love before I'll just say this, then you can go into the little breakdown. I do love the cast for this movie, though.
Yeah, I was surprised to see who was. There was like one person here. I was like, I know this person's in this movie.
Hmm.
But the rest of them, I was like, oh, this person, this person. They got all these people to be in this movie as well.
Yeah. So, anyways, go ahead and do your
Yeah,
little.
this wasn't like
breakdown.
a
I wanna
huge
talk
budget
about.
movie either.
No,
So
it's really not.
yeah. So, drum roll, please. Here's our description. So Tank Girl, aka Rebecca, being a real name.
I love your drum roll, and here's the
Yep,
description.
here we go. Yeah, no, a totally unnecessary drum roll.
Bing bang.
So Tank Girl and her friends are the only remaining citizens living in the wasteland that is Earth. We don't know where on Earth. My guess was Australia.
That's probably a good guess.
It's
Honestly,
I mean that's where Mad Max happened. It's like basically anytime you have an apocalyptic movie that's in the desert, it's Australia. But anyways, proceeding, where all the remaining water is controlled by Water and Power, the mega corporation slash government that runs the territory. While while incarcerated at the WNP, Tank Girl and her new friend Jet Girl break out and steal a tank and a jet. Go figure. After meeting some mutant kangaroos slash humans, and one kangaroo slash dog, and rescuing her little girl adopted by her friends, the kangaroos and girls kick the Water and Power Company's butt.
yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of a high level synopsis of this movie.
yeah. That's the movie. See you guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Um,
It's a very simple plot for this movie. It's a very simple movie. It's very heavy on aesthetic and very thin on plot, I will say.
yeah. There's a lot of just nonsense that happens in this movie that adds a lot of confusion for me.
Yeah, I feel like this is like a mixture of it was very much a mixture of animation and live action in this movie, but it was more so the the animation was used to transition and kind of like remind us, hey, this comes from a comic book, which
Yeah.
it's Tank Girls based on a comic book from the 90s. The animation though, and the mixture of all this stuff, it kind of like served to I felt like it just drove me to be confused more so than anything else. Um,
Yeah.
but that mixture there, I forget what my original point was. Uh, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's. I just feel like there's so much happening all the time that doesn't necessarily make sense, and I think that's kind of like my struggle the whole time. I mean, we were sitting there watching it last night, and I can't remember what my wife said, but I was just like, "Yeah, I'm really confused." And she's like, "Well, are you not paying attention?" I was like, "I'm watching this. I'm just confused." Just because like the wild weird things that they would do that's really unrelated to the movie
yeah,
just because it's silly or something. It's like I don't know. I just feel like there was too much and I was like I don't know what's happening. I just felt that way almost through the whole time towards the end. And like I didn't quite understand the relationship between Tank Girl and the daughter Sam. Is that what her name was?
yeah. I think she
Sam.
just happened to live in the same like random house in the middle of the desert as she did.
Yeah,
She's like the
it
only
just,
person
like,
left from their little colony.
It's just I don't. It was so weird.
Yeah,
It's so weird.
but
Uh,
they. I keep remembering what I want to say and keep forgetting it like quickly over and over again.
it's okay.
But I was as I was watching this, I was trying to think and compare it to other comic book related movies
Hmm.
from around that time period. And the one that kind of popped in my mind was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
the first one, which
Mhm.
came out in '89, and then Secret of the Ooze, which came out in '92, just a few years prior to this. And it's like the overall tone is very similar in that it's kind of slapsticky.
Mhm.
except they didn't like. I feel like Tank Girl. This movie had almost like some ADD in how it was approaching things. Uh, but but in reading some of the notes about it, there's reasons why they kind of did things the way they did them and used as much animation to kind of like space the scenes out
Hmm.
as they did. It's actually really interesting. Some of the interesting factoids on IMDb. Um, but yeah, it's I feel like the overall tone wasn't too different from like something like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie,
That's
like live
true.
action, or uh like even earlier, like when we watched Buckaroo Banzai. It's kind of
Yeah.
like frenetic energy of the movie
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
and just loose adherence to the script.
I mean, eh, it's just the weird relationship between um Tank Girl and one of the kangaroo guys. That
Oh, that's if you look at if you
that
look
was
at the notes,
awkward.
if you look at the notes, it's that's not just supposed to be subtext. It was supposed to be like pretty obvious, but they took a scene out.
I
Because
I could imagine.
because it involved it did involve a was it a foot long cast kangaroo penis.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh my
that was
gosh.
gonna be in the movie, but they removed the scene because they didn't want to show bestiality.
Yeah, that's weird. That that's uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
mean, there was a oh my gosh, there was the time in the jet, I think, whenever they were towards the beginning,
Uh,
whenever you thought she was gonna have to do something sexual to the guy. I
yeah.
was thinking, come on. I was like, are we really about to get into that? And then she snaps his neck. I was like, okay.
it's not the 70s or the 80s. It's not quite snuff film territory.
Yeah. So it looks like the budget was around 25 million for this
This is not
movie.
terrible for the mid
Yeah.
90s. Yeah.
Opening weekend, they raised about 2 million.
That
Uh,
tracks. So this one ended up being
they've
more of a cult hit, yeah.
they've only it looks like according to IMDb at least, they only made about 4 million off of this movie.
Yeah, when you look at the books, those are numbers for the IRS. If you look at like their gross takings, it's probably a bit more.
Yeah, but still, either way, it looks like I doubt they made back what they put into this movie. Um, but I feel like yeah, this to be able to like this movie, you have to already be in the mindset of I just like wild movies that
Yeah.
just are all over the place. And luckily, I kind of do. I kind of do like the weird movies like this where the whole time you're a little confused, but it's goofy enough where you kind of don't care.
Well, it's like it's really infused with the energy of the lead who plays Tank Girl in this movie, Lori Petty. She's got that. If there was a person, a real living actor who was going to embody the personage that was Tank Girl, Lori Petty would be it. Every
Yeah.
movie I've seen in, she has the energy that she has in this movie.
Yeah. She's
Uh,
such an odd person that I think she fits the character perfectly.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, so yeah, we have her, we have Ice T, we have Don Harvey, we got Malcolm
yeah. Malcolm McDowell.
there we
Like,
go.
if there was anybody who's synonymous with bad guy in a movie, other than him, it'd be Tim Curry. But if you see Malcolm McDowell in a movie, and then they're not spelling it out for you, guess what? He's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we got really good actors on this.
Yeah, we got Reg E. Caffey, which, if you remember, he was the dad in the Fantastic Four reboot movie that we watched.
Oh, okay. I was like, I
Yeah,
recognize the
he,
name. I couldn't
yeah,
think of who it was.
he was the Jive Cat, Kangaroo Man,
Makes
one of the
sense.
Rippers. We got Iggy Pop as Ratface. He was the creepazoid who was trying to take Sam, the little girl, and do God knows what with her
Ugh.
at the Liquid Silver
Yeah.
area there.
Which was a weird scene too.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And
what?
James Hong as well. He's a guy who's not I've not really ever I've only ever seen him as a character actor, but he's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he really
You get
is.
like an old Asian
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
Like James Hong is
I
usually
just
the
clicked
guy.
into his
Yeah,
profile. Yeah, you would instantly know who this guy
yeah.
is.
He's been in tons of stuff. He's just like he's just like one of those faces that you always see in the background, but he's been in like tons of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So, what did you dislike most, probably about this movie?
So I know this is very much we've already touched on this quite a bit. It's very much a artifact of its time. But I really didn't like the way they broke up the movie with their montaging methods and the way they use their animation. Now, the reason, if you look into it, the reason they use so much animation is that they ended up having to cut about 10 scenes from the movie, and they had the actual comic artists draw these animate these scenes uh, in the style of the comic book to kind of plaster between to transition from scene to scene. And they used it quite a bit. The the comic artists were actually pretty PO'd that they didn't actually pony up the bucks to actually film these scenes while they were out there. But the way they did it, it's kind of the energy of the way live action works and the energy of if it was all like done in that animation style, it would have made sense because it would have been all in context. And if it was all in the live action style, it would have been all in context. It would have made sense. But when we're flipping between one and the other, the energy is totally different from between an animation style and the live action style because people can't move like a cartoon can,
Mhm.
and it's hard to get a cartoon to move like real people can. You have to put a lot of time into that. So the stylized differences there is just kind of like threw the energy off and made things a little bit more confusing. But then there was also the use of montaging. The most egregious one I can think of is when they have to repaint the water and power tank. And when they roll it out of the garage from this random rain lady
Mm.
that they run into as they're trying to find their way to was it the liquid silver
Mhm.
place? Uh, they roll it out there, and you can see them showing kind of what the tank can do. They can whistle at it. They can tell, kind of issue it commands, so it rolls, shoots the gun, whatever. It's like the tank's got its own personality now. But
Yeah.
then you see her kind of posing all over it, and it's like she does just these random poses on it, and it just kind of flashes between the scenes. She's changed, like the clothes change from scene to scene. Uh, she's doing this, she's doing that. And it's just like I was like, I kind of get what's going on, but I'm also confused. And it went entire. If it was like done like over the course of like maybe like 15, 20 seconds, I'd have been like, okay, fine. But I feel like that whole scene went for like a minute.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
this is like one of those. Was it the rule of sevens where you do something at like 2 times funny, 3 times less funny, 4 times less funny, 5 times. Oh my god, why are they keep doing 6 times? Kill me now. 7 times. Okay, it's funny again. I felt like maybe they needed to go like another extra minute for it to be funny again.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a little bit longer of
Yeah.
doing the same thing.
It's like either cut it shorter or just make it even longer. But I was like, all right, let's get on with the plot because it's like I understand what you're trying to do. I understand that you're trying to like build up the excitement around the fact that Tank Girl finally got the tank,
Yeah.
and it's like it looks like the tank from the comics for those people who are like into the comics. Um, but me, unfortunately, being someone who has not read the comics, I was just looking at it. I'm like, this is probably something that happened in the comics, but it doesn't really translate well to real life. So
Yeah. No, I mean, and I feel like the thing that I dislike, it's pretty much the same thing of like, there was quite a few moments where they did the montage things that it just didn't work. And it led to me just feeling confused because it not just that scene, but there was a few others that they were just like doing things that you're like, what? And I'm like, okay, like just kind of like adding to a level already the movie already kind of just feels chaotic.
yeah,
And to make the chaotic even like more like sidetracked to the point where you just don't really feel like you know what's going on. But then all of a sudden
yeah,
it's like done back to the
yeah.
actual
It's
plot.
very jarring. Yeah.
And you're just like, wait, so what we just watched adds nothing to my life watching this movie. Okay. So
Well, although to be fair, Ryan, most of the movies we watch are of questionable value, so
let me tell you.
we should be used to that by now.
I still stand behind there are certain standards of movie watching, which I should just throw them out the
I've been
window.
warned. I've been warned. I've been ground down by now, Ryan. I do not have those expectations anymore.
I mean, how many conversations have we had outside of here? I'm like, I need to watch a movie I like. Like, I need a good review. I need a good surprise movie. Like, I'm dying here. Um, so I just feel like that's probably what I dislike most is just like the craziness and then the extreme sidetrack off the wall randomness that like just ends you never hear again and we go back to the
Yeah,
craziness of the main plot.
it's crazy because some of those stylized elements really work. Like when they're in the truck chase, and she's like surfing on the barrel of the tank trying to
Oh,
get
that
up.
still drove me nuts.
Oh, really? I see.
I don't know
I like
why.
that as like, but also I was reading something about that and how she was like actually petrified, scared doing that.
Mm,
Understandably so, because she's on the nose of a tank. Now those things are stabilized,
yeah.
so like you could stand on one of those things that could be running over like really rocky terrain and it would barely move. But she's standing on that thing. She's petrified and like chasing down a truck. I'm sure they're moving at scale miles per hour,
Oh yeah.
like a la hardcore Henry, trying to make it look fast when they're actually going maybe like 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like, again, you're on on
Still
the barrel
frightening.
of a tank that's moving, and if you fall down, the tank treads are going to go over you,
Yeah.
as it did with that guard.
Yeah.
um,
I don't know. Just I think almost even though that's not as like crazy, like it's still just like okay, all right. I don't know. Just it didn't quite work for me,
mm.
but that's just me. So, anyways, moving on to what did you like the most about this movie?
So what I like most about this movie was I like the overall vibe of the movie. It's a very Mad Max vibe. That's why I was like joking, was like, oh, this had to be in Australia. Because
Yeah.
it seemed like it was the same rules as Mad Max or the Fury Road or the like Beyond Thunderdome or something along those lines. This is like on the other side of the desert is now you have Tank Girl versus Water and Power. Because it's like you have like one or two groups that has like control of all the resources, a la Mad Max, where you had the was it in Fury Road, where the one mercenary guy is like control of all the water,
Ugh,
and and
probably.
you have
I
other
can't
guy
remember.
that controls all the bullets, and another guy controls all the fuel. In this case, you have one guy controlling all the water and all the electricity, and they're just basically going and taking anybody out who's stealing it from them. Uh, I don't know what their business model is because it doesn't look like they're selling it to anybody. It looks like they're just hoarding it.
Yeah, definitely just hoarding it.
Yeah. But that whole vibe, I really liked it. It's a good setting for a movie. It gets used so often to either great or diminished effect. There have been some bad movies that uh, man, there's one with the guy. Man, I'm blanking on the name of the movie. Warriors of the Lost World, I believe it's what it's called.
I don't know if I've seen that.
It was the last time I saw it, they riffed it on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, I might have
But
seen
it's
it
like,
then.
yeah, but it's or I think it's called Warrior of the Lost World, and it's basically this guy on like a computerized motorcycle, riding around the desert, and he's got like the evil government slash corporation basically who controls all the resources, and he has to go contend with all these randos in the wasteland. Again, your post apocalyptic scenario. Um, I don't know. It's a very generic setting that can be used for multiple different things, but I always really enjoy it. It can get used very well. I feel like they utilize it to pretty good effect and put their own twist on it with the introduction of the genetically modified soldiers slash human kangaroo hybrids. I thought that was really cool. I do wish, however, we got a little more background. Apparently, there were supposed to be some scenes on how we got here with the comet hitting the Earth and all that stuff. We get a few sentences as to
Yeah.
why it happened, but apparently they did film some scenes that ended up getting cut, showing Tank Girl when she was a child and how she survived the
Mm,
comet hitting the Earth. So I thought that would have been really cool to see
yeah, that would have been interesting.
and give it a little more backstory as to how we got here. But that's what I liked about the movie is the overall like scenario they find themselves in. And just as an aside, Malcolm McDowell, as always, he's always like a really good bad guy. He killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always a good bad guy. Okay, so before I get on to mine, I just found this crazy something crazy in the credits. So under the shout out to the boom operator, the name is Freddy Potato Head.
Hey, people got some weird names out there in Hollywood.
Yeah, I almost want to look them up to see if that's a real name. So for me, which I know this is almost a little bit contradicting what I said earlier, I kind of liked the craziness of the movie. Um, Now I didn't obviously I'm still gonna stick behind I don't like the far sidetracks of the little montages and like the weird stuff that was so extremely weird and then like just cut. But just like the overall main plot of like the main story that you followed, it still is completely insane and just like off the wall weird shit happening. But it kept me interested because I really was thinking like who knows what the hell's going to happen next.
All right. Oh yeah.
Like, even though we
Well,
knew the next scene was going to the kangaroo people, it's just like we had no idea truly what the fuck was going to happen with the kangaroo people.
Well, and then you have that, and you have the utter unpredictability of what Tank Girl and, to a lesser extent, Jet Girl are going to do in any particular situation.
What the hell are they going to say? Like the weirdness. So I liked that it was predictable but unpredictable. Like the main plot was predictable. You knew it was going to happen.
Oh yeah, the hero goes in, saves the damsel in distress, being the child in this
exactly.
case.
Like you knew all of that stuff.
Yeah,
but it's how to get there.
Yeah, it's like, what kind of movie would this been if they do go through all this and the kid drowns?
I think that would have been a fun twist, honestly. Be like, oh shit, not everybody has a happy ending.
I feel like that's how it would have happened if they made this movie in like present day.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they just like super edgy, like the kid dies.
Yeah, and like you watch the kid. Oh my god, that'd be crazy. But yeah,
that's kind of how they did it in Mad Max when they show from Fury Road the kid, like they show the kid and all the people he cared about died.
Yeah. So I do like that aspect of like you knew like A to Z, that story, but it's like the in between of like what's happening, what's going to be said, all these things. Like there's a lot of twists and turns of just weird shit that happened, but I was there for it. So, yeah, which I feel like normally that throws me off, but I think it's because the whole movie was that way versus like just a scene that's wild and crazy that makes no sense and adds nothing to the movie. Those usually are the ones I'm like, I don't know about this. But if the whole movie is that way,
I don't know. You kind of get used to it.
Yeah, if it's built that way, so it's built different. Anyways, so that's what we like. That's what we dislike. Anything to add before we get on to the rating of this movie?
Yeah, I don't. As far as like, if you're worried about watching this with your kids, language, but otherwise, hey, it's not too bad.
It's really not, especially when you look at the warning label. I always look at the warning labels because I want to know what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. I don't want any surprises like we've had in other movies.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, like in there, it says like nudity and stuff like that, but I don't think there was any nudity.
Yeah, I think the closest thing we got to that is when she was wearing a bra that looked like rockets.
That was pretty funny. Or the silver, what's that place?
Oh, the liquid silver.
My thought is more than likely probably somebody in the background might have been.
Yeah,
but
quite
I
possible.
didn't see anything. So because I always like to clock it in the sense of knowing like, hey, don't let your child watch it, all that kind of stuff. But I think language is the worst part about this.
But it's got a very, I feel like it's got a very strong kind of a pro like I was like a part of that pro like I don't say pro, but like the like girls movement that was like prevalent in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's very much born of that kind of same energy. Because around that time, that's around when like the Lilith Fair and all that stuff was starting, very like pro feminist, and I feel like it's got very much that energy. Is like
right,
girls can do it. So I feel like it's got very much around that positive image. Positive message there because all the heroines are girls.
Yeah.
All the heroes rather. I mean, you got the kangaroos that are helping, but they're
helpers.
But they couldn't have done it without Tank Girl and Jet Girl. So
exactly. Yeah. All right. So was this a cheers or party foul for you, buddy?
I've seen this one before. I've never actually.
What? You've seen this before?
I've only seen this one like in parts. I've never seen this in full. I've seen this in parts when they when it was on like TBS or something like that.
Gotcha.
So I've seen it with commercials and stuff like that. So this is the first time I've seen it as a whole and not just a part of it. Like, what is that? That's weird. Lori Petty, I know her from A League of Their Own. But having seen this in full, would I watch this again? Yeah, probably. Would I watch it again tomorrow? No. But I would watch this again. It was interesting. So I would give this a cheers. I enjoyed the movie. Does it get confusing at times? Maybe I was confused because there was no commercials. I don't know.
I was confused.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm pretty much the same of I'm going to give it a cheers. I would want to watch it together. I think it would be a good one to watch with like you and me, like sitting down and watching it, just so we can also be like talking about how crazy and stupid and just like weird, like, just being able to have somebody to like banter back and forth with about the movie, I think
Right.
would make it even better. But even just like last night watching it, of like, even just then for the first time watching it, I enjoyed it still. It was weird
Yeah.
and just like
It's like
felt
weird
confused.
in a good way though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely didn't hate it. Definitely kept me entertained, wondering what was going to happen. And I feel like that's such a big thing for me, especially, everybody listening and you like, if I'm not entertained, then I'm out. I'm done. Like
Yeah.
if we're watching
Oh,
something and it doesn't grasp me right off the bat, I'm usually not paying
yeah.
attention.
It had my attention the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was just trying to keep up. I was just like holding on for dear life, trying to keep up with this movie. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a cheers too. I mean, I want to think, I'm not gonna say it's one that you need to go watch right now, but I do think it's one, if if you're chilling at home and you're like, I want to watch a movie, but there's nothing I really care to actually watch, just throw it on.
Hey, if you liked Ice-T and Daddy Daycare, watch this. He's in this
Yeah.
movie too.
Yeah.
Although you may have a difficult time recognizing him with the very good makeup, by the way, very good makeup
Yeah.
for the Kangaroo Men.
Yeah, they did.
So he's one of the kangaroo dudes. So
They did really, really good. All right, so there you go. We got 2 cheers.
I'm confusing Ice-T with Ice Cube. I feel bad now.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Ice-T's the guy who's on Law and Order now, right?
yes.
Yeah, not Ice Cube. Ice Cube is the guy who was in NWA. So
Yes.
my apologies, Ice-T.
Oh my god, what a noob!
I know.
It's
like I know you listen, so
yeah, we have all the celebrities listening.
yes, exactly.
So there you go. 2 cheers for us. But we both agree, not one that you need to go like stop in immediately and go watch.
I will say, I was reading something else about this, and I agree. This movie did serve as a prototype for all our Harley Quinn movies that we got. Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, all those. This like kind of served as like the template that they built on top of for those movies. So if you
I
liked
could see that.
basically the Harley Quinn character in like the first or second Suicide Squad movies or the Birds of Prey movie, I think we could probably point to this movie and kind of like thank it for kind of plowing that field, so to speak.
Yeah.
So Margot Robbie, because apparently Margot Robbie based a lot of the characteristics of Harley Quinn character on Lori Petty's depiction of Tank Girl. So
Yeah, no, I
yeah.
could see that. I
Yeah.
could see that. Cool. So there you go. Let's move on to things of the week. Anthony, do you have a thing of the week?
I have a thing of the week.
Okay, great. You can go first.
Oh,
I like to.
I didn't know I was getting myself into.
I mean, I can go first if
No,
you'd rather.
I got it. So my thing of the week, I started. So I was surfing Reddit the other day, as one does, at work when they're bored. And as I was doing so, I've been trying to get more into Star Trek. I've been very much into Star Wars ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I've been like Star Trek and whatever. But as I'm becoming an adult more, I'm getting more into the Star Trek's more cerebral. So I'm like trying to get myself into that a little bit more. But I was reading stuff about it, and then I saw this post about the differences in between the new Strange New World show on Paramount Plus, where they depict the Enterprise prior to Kirk being captain, and the Orville. They have two very similar scenes, and they showed how in the Star Trek show they like try to dumb down what they're doing. They don't have any faith in the audience to explain. They're trying to like show that the ship exploded, so like the ship that's chasing them, that's overpowering them, just kind of leaves. Both shows did the same thing. One show just like had faith that the audience understood what they were doing and just did it as if they were doing it. And the other show was like explaining everything, so every step of the plan to the nth degree. Orville was the one that as everybody considers maybe a parody of Star Trek, was the one that had faith in the audience. And I saw a lot of recommendations in the comments like, you should really watch this. It's not just like a joke show about a parody of Star Trek. It's actually gotten to be like, started out as a kind of a comedy,
right,
but became like on its own like a good sci-fi show. So I started watching it, and I got to tell you, it is what they say it is.
You were telling me that. I guess I need to give it
Yeah.
another shot.
Yeah, the Orville. I started watching it maybe on Monday. I'm on episode 9 now. Yeah, so I've gotten pretty far into it. And I got to say, it starts out in the first 1 or 2 episodes, it's like, yeah, it's kind of jokey.
Yeah.
But as it goes on, it gets I feel like it gets to the level of it's got don't it's got humor in it. It's like it's written by Seth MacFarlane,
Yeah,
guy who
it
did
has
like
to.
Family Guy and all those A Million Ways to Die in the West and all that stuff. He writes some stupid shit that's supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
But this is actually a very smartly written show. It's got humor in it, so you'll still laugh. It's not droll by any means. Uh, but it's also, if you liked like Next Generation or any of those shows, it's got a lot of that energy as well.
Mhm.
It's not Star Trek, but it's like it's in its own different universe. But I highly recommend it. Orville, give it a shot. I'm only in the first season, and I've heard the second and third seasons. They just released the third season, or they just finished the third season, I think. Um, it's really good
Okay.
so far.
I'll give it
And
another shot.
the season from 2019 and the seasons from 2022, I hear, are even better. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, as a hardcore Star Trek fan, like I grew up watching that before I watched Star Wars. It it was almost hard for me to get into.
Yeah,
I think because it just felt too jokey about it.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll easily give it another shot. Like I knew I was starting to enjoy it the more I got into it. I think
Mhm.
I don't know why I stopped watching it. I probably just got busy and forgot about it, honestly. But
Yeah, I would say the first 2 or 3 episodes are very heavy. They lean more heavily on the humor and less on like the Star Trekky nature of it. And they
yeah.
just like they end up leaning more and more into the sci-fi-ness of it. And they actually they're less like a bunch of screw ups. They're more
Mhm.
like a competent crew who knows what they're doing. And there may be something funny going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I love Paramount right now because they have a lot of Star Trek shows.
Yeah.
Like they have the Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so good. They did such a
I'm about
great
3 episodes into that one.
so good.
Yeah.
I can't get into Picard though. It's honestly it just makes me more sad than anything else.
Are you in the first season or the second season?
Still the first
I
season.
heard the second season, like just like lights off.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just like it's hard to get through that first season because it's just like it's as an old man that needs to not be doing this
Yeah.
anymore. Is how it just feels.
Yeah, the second season I've heard, the first season is very like it's like focused on data, right? Like on like androids and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the second season kind of goes nuts, and the third season I heard like a lot of the cast from the original Next Generation are coming back.
Okay.
Like
Well,
I follow LeVar Burton on Twitter, and he talks about he's like doing
Gotcha.
all this, like he's doing like ADR now for that. So
mm,
like him and a bunch of the guy who played Riker and Worf, they're all like back.
nice.
So yeah, that to look forward to.
Yeah, I need to actually sit down. And I know that they came out with another Star Trek, but I can't remember what it is.
So there's the cartoon one as well.
Oh yeah, the Lower Decks. Is that what it's called?
There's that, and then there's like the Nickelodeon kids one as well.
I didn't know about
Yeah,
that one.
and then there's also Strange New Worlds,
Strange. That's the one I
Yeah.
was trying to think of.
which with Captain Pike.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Star Trek apparently is making a huge comeback, which I'm excited about because really I grew up watching it
Yeah, there was
every
a-
single day.
There was a good long dry spell, like after Voyager ended. It's like after Voyager and Deep Space Nine ended, there was like basically nothing for a
Yeah.
while, right? Well, there was Enterprise.
Yeah, I mean,
There's like people liked or didn't like that show, so
and I
got back
liked
to
it.
it,
I
yeah.
like all the Star Treks. Like I sat there one day because like during the pandemic, work was slow. I didn't have much, so during work, I was watching Star Trek, and I decided to watch all of the Star Trek, and I enjoy them all. I just do.
even the original series.
Even the original,
Really?
they're hard to get through. That's for sure. They're definitely hard to
So
get.
you mean
through.
a show from the 1960s doesn't translate well into the modern day?
It does not. It's it's very bad, but it's still a Star Trek. So I think that's why I gave it a slide, even though it probably shouldn't. But yeah, so Star Trek's making a huge comeback again, and I'm here for it because I grew up with that world. So
Yeah. I've only seen a few. I've like seen episodes of the next generation here and there, I probably need to sit down and just like watch through at least the key episodes.
Yeah.
I've seen all the movies though, so
I mean, and that's why like I want to get into Picard is because like he's who I watched.
yeah.
Like he was Star Trek for
He was
me.
like a lot of people are like that's my Doctor Who. That's
Yeah,
your that's
that-
your captain.
yeah, that's my captain.
yeah.
Captain, my
Oh,
captain.
Captain, my captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do love that actually you brought that up because my thing of the week is something Star Trek related.
Oh, really?
It is because
We did not coordinate this.
no, we didn't. We don't.
Yeah.
We never talk about what we're gonna do, unless it's music because I usually have to get it queued up, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, I got one too." So as a lot of y'all know, I stream games, and usually my Fridays are my like days where it's almost an all day thing. It's almost like a work hour day long worth of streaming because I'm like, oh, it's a Friday, as of now at least. Well, I was been looking for a new game and I found Star Trek Online.
I've heard good things about this show or game.
And it's pretty much a show. Oh
Is
my
this
god.
the one where you're on the deck, like you're on the command deck, or is this the one where you just control the ship from the outside?
You do it all.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you control your like you fly your ship around, and then whenever you get to the planets, you beam down to the planet, and there are certain times where you actually inside your ship and you move around your ship, and it's very fun. It's very time consuming, but I'm having a blast with it. First, right off the bat, I had to go Klingon.
Oh, really?
I had to. I wanted to see how it felt, but I
What's
threw
that? What's that blade? They have the Bathleth or something like that. You get one of
what
those.
it's called, but yeah, you get one of those.
Yeah.
And like your first like little mission is you pretty much like challenge the captain of your ship, and you take over the ship. It's pretty fun.
So you're taking over not a Federation ship, but a Klingon ship.
Klingon ship. Yeah,
Okay.
you fight your Klingon captain.
I was like, that
be a
it's like-
captain.
Yeah, I was like the Federation. I don't know if they would stand for that.
No, they would not. But anyway, so I played all one Friday as a Klingon. Then yeah, so through that, a lot of my people, like my followers, jumped in like, "Hey, we played too, but we're Starfleet." So I made a new account doing Starfleet, and it's just it's so much fun. It just brings back a lot of fun memories. So I recommend it. Apparently, it's on Xbox, it's on PC. I think it's on PlayStation. Somebody said Switch. I doubt it's on Switch. But anyway, so it's on more than just PC, and you can play with your friends and all that kind of stuff. So I'd recommend checking it out because it's free. Of course, there's a lot of stuff to pay for if you want to like get the big ass ships and all that.
Yeah, but is it happen during like TOS or is it during like Next Generation, Deep Space Nine period? When is
it
this
has
happening?
a ton of different like I can't really tell.
Okay.
So I kind of feel like it's almost its own world.
Okay.
But you see Worf, you see a lot of Borgs, like so. I feel like it's a mixture of like all the different kinds.
Like if the Borg are there, that's probably the Borg didn't really come about until after they fought them, or like when the Enterprise D was there, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be after that.
So, but I'm having a blast with it. So I recommend it. If you got an Xbox and you got time, I mean, download it. Why not? So
I know way more about Star Wars than I thought I did.
Track.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
You said Star Wars.
I know a lot about Star Wars, but I know a lot more about Star Trek than I thought I did. Yeah.
The next thing I'm going to play is hopefully the Star Wars online as well, but I've heard that's not too good. So we'll see about that.
Is that the Old Republic?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's Old Republic.
Is it still around?
I think it's still alive.
Oh, I thought they shut it down.
Maybe they did.
Maybe I'm thinking of Star Wars Galaxies. I did play Star Wars Galaxies when
I
it
need to
first
look it
came
up.
out, but that was closed. That they shut that one down a while ago.
I really haven't played after Battlefront. Is it Battlefront? Star Wars Battlefront? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the very old one. That's the last Star Wars game I ever played.
Yeah, they came out with a new Star Wars Battlefront, and then they came out with a new Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah. And I know there was like Old Republic and Jedi.
Yeah, because that was the BioWare MMORPG. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know they've come out with a bunch, and I want a good Star Wars game. I just don't think there's any out there yet. That's newer.
Jedi Fallen Order. Really
Is
good.
it good though?
It is very good.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Maybe I'll
highly
look into
recommend it. Yeah.
Maybe I'll look into it because
Yeah,
I'm ready
that's a
for
very
a good one. So
Yeah.
all right. Talk to us about this beer. What how do you feel about this beer?
My beer is gone. So sad. It got better. This is one of those ones where it got a little bit better as it got warmer. The booziness kind of like melded in with the rest of the flavors as it kind of like warmed up a little bit. Uh, I finished it before it got the room temperature. It's probably a good thing. But the booziness of it, I was worried. I have to say initially when I was like, has this one just been like sitting in their fridge for like 2 years? Like, I don't think so.
No,
I think
I don't think
they
so.
they assured me that this was actually a new. They made new ones. So
Did you ask?
I did ask.
Oh my
'Cause
god.
I was like, I told him, I was like, I bought this back when it came out in 2020. The guy that was there. He wasn't working at Celestial at the time, and when the pandemic started. But he was saying, yeah, we decided to make it again because like people just loved it so much. So we're truly inseparable. Hey, it's got a 4 in my book still. I don't remember if I gave it a 4 or higher, but I'll give it a 4.
You did give it a 4 last time.
Hey, consistent.
That's right.
High five.
I agree though. I think it's hard because we know that the normal base, like the normal tastes with the Celestial and Turning Point IPAs.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first sip kind of was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, it's
this
kind
is
of got an
different.
edge to it. Yeah.
But I think knowing that you could kind of enjoy it more.
Mhm.
For me, I don't know if it was it going more room temperature ish or if it was just like us kind of like changing how we looked at it. Because we did get the first sip realizing, okay, this is more boozy. That's okay. Kind of just like readjusting because whenever you smell it, it smells super, super juicy. Like
Oh yeah.
very, I just spit everywhere. Sorry. Very juicy. And so to get that first taste of it being very boozy was just like the opposite. So I think it threw
Right.
us off more. I agree though. I could drink a lot of these though
Yeah.
because
I don't know if it's one of those things where like if you have like a Bacardi 151, the first one it like stings, but then the second one is like less stingy,
yeah,
and then so on and so forth, and eventually it's like, oh, it's like water.
yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, because you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
And yeah, with this, like I know it's on the boozier side, but flavor's still there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's very delicious.
I gotta say, I enjoyed it when we had it back at the beginning of the pandemic, and it's not just because we were trapped in our houses. It's actually a good beer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always what's funny is whenever beer comes out around then I think we both have just like, did we just enjoy because we were drinking all the time during this, or what is an actual
Except
good beer?
Narbeast, we did not enjoy
We
that.
did not like
Yeah.
that. Which
I- I think I just will never have a barley wine ever again.
no, oh, wow, no hate towards those breweries. It just
No,
apparently we're not barley
I
wine.
love Cowtown and Panther Island. They make good stuff.
They do. We're just not barley wine people.
I just
apparently.
didn't care for that collab.
Which
Yeah, there are a lot of people who love it. They still make it, so
I
the people love it.
go for it.
I just didn't like
Go
it.
for it.
Yeah.
We do. I do have a barley wine that I was given. We might have to crack that open.
You can probably use it as antiseptic.
That's right. But anyways, guys, I'm trying. I feel like I'm missing something. Am I missing anything? Or
let's hit the socials.
okay, let me let's do a social thing. All right, so you can catch us at Let's Do a Podcast on Facebook and the YouTubes. You can catch us at Let's Instapod over at the Instagram. Let's Tweet a Pod over on Twitter. If you want to watch us on the videos, check us out on the Facebook and on the YouTubes there. You can also check us out on Partycast Network, pretty much everywhere, including Twitch. We're on the Twitch where you'll see this coming in. I think we just, oh, cool. Thanks, Spotify. I appreciate you throwing an ad in the middle of this. That's awesome.
Hey, they didn't pay for this ad time.
No, they did not. That's why I'm turning them down. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, if you have any recommendations for beer or movies, make sure to hit us up at let's do a podcast 22 at gmail.com or just comment on any of the posts that we have.
Yeah, if you're one of those locals that can go to that Peach Fest, let us know.
Yeah, let us know about the Peach Fest.
Yeah,
I love peaches. and I love fests, so why
like-
not?
It's like I love that song. Go into the country, gonna eat me a lot of peaches.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. All right. Well, I have no music because Spotify is just playing a ton of ads on me at the moment, which is really awesome. I really do appreciate that, Spotify. Soon I'll get my hopefully Spotify Premium back so we can actually have music, because my buttons also don't have music. So we got Anthony. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I hope you have a fantastic week, and we'll see you back shortly.
Hey, the music.
I'm Ryan.
Is it doing it again?
Oh,
I'm Anthony. Thank God, because I couldn't do that much longer.
I'm so thrown off.
This is much better than what I was doing.
This is the best ending ever.
Yeah.
I think this tops all the endings that we've ever had.
Top 10.
Top 10. All right, guys. We love you guys. We'll check on you later. See ya.